Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our 2013 CFL Week 2 preview between the Toronto Argonauts and the BC Lions. So let's take a look at some keys to victory for both teams, starting with Toronto.
Last week, the Argos looked so crisp on offense, it was impressive to see. 5 different receivers caught multiple passes with Chad Owens, Jason Barnes, and Spencer White leading the way. And Chad Cacker went over 100 yards as well, picking up right where he left off in that Grey Cup final. Did a great job opening day catching the football in the backfield also. And when you look at Ricky Ray, I think he played probably his best game I've seen him play. He was efficient, he was crisp, he was decisive, he moved himself around the pocket, he got out of trouble, didn't get sacked. I like what I saw, and I think they can have some success moving forward this year if they're able to keep him protected like they did last week. Now, when you look at the defense, they had some issues communicating in the secondary, and they gave up a lot of big plays down the middle of the field. That can't happen versus BC. We know how talented BC is throwing the football and how great of a quarterback Lulay is. It can be a problem for this secondary versus the Lions. We know about their receiving core. We know how well they are at the slot back position. So they're going to have to communicate better this week versus BC. Let's move over to BC in this game, and they got punched in the mouth up front defensively last week versus Calgary, who ran the football up and down the field versus this Lions front. Now, yes, they were without one of their top linebackers in Solomon Elimian, who was out with injury. They get him back this week, so he's going to help bolster the running game, and they're going to need him. They're facing a team in Toronto that can run the rock as well with Chad Cacker, and they love to do different things in the running game. They love to go off tackle. They love to run traps, and they're going to have to be in position to make plays. They can't over pursue versus this running game of Toronto. On offense, where was Andrew Harrison? How come he didn't get the football on the ground? That's how this offense was so dangerous last year. They operated off balance. They got to find a way to get the running game going early with Harris, and that just opens up everything else. Otherwise, you're going to see Lulay press more, try to force the football, miss some throws, and try to do it on his own with his own legs in the running game. But they have to find that balance with Harris. Just opens everything up on offense. I think they can have some success running the football versus Toronto, especially on the interior. I think that's where the matchup will be won, and that's where they have an advantage. I think their interior offensive linemen match up very well with those defensive tackles of the Argos. Now let's take a look at some coaching points for both teams in this matchup. For Toronto, they have to stay crisp on offense. They did a great job with that last week, and that's why they were able to put up a lot of points to be efficient. And they have to have assignment football on defense, communicate better in the secondary, and they can have some success. And on the openers, that's the first quarter as well as the third quarters. You want to start the game and come out of halftime dominant, and that's how you can have some success. For the BC Lions, the defensive line has to anchor and hold the point of attack. You can't get gashed in a running game like you did last week. You have to find a way to get Andrew Harris involved in the running game early and take chances in the secondary. I still believe you can have some success versus Ricky Ray. You just have to take some chances on the football. He'll give you that opportunity. I think the BC Lions rebound by winning this week versus Toronto. Last week was the aberration versus Calgary. They get back Elimian, and that's going to help out that run defense, and that way they'll be able to slow down what Toronto brings to the table. Still, nonetheless, should be an exciting game. And I want to give a huge shout out to Lion fan forums and Argo fan forums for always showing football game plan support.